Welcome to today's Champion on a Mission podcast and, for the first time, the Champion TV episode. Now, I don't even remember which TV episode this is, but today is kind of my first time doing it this way on purpose as being the podcast of Champion on a Mission as well as the Champion TV as an episode. All right. And here's why I'm doing that. Because I hate sitting behind the fucking computer and a microphone with like a giant penis in my face, sticking up like this. That's not how I am. That's not how I express myself. I like to move around. I like to work out. I like to train. I'm high energy because I know guys like you need that, because it's one thing for somebody to sit behind a desk or the computer, the iMac and all that stuff and then talk, and then you're like sitting there all quiet, you're listening and shit like that. We need more than that. We're champion men like that. They're like, we like energy. We like high-paced stuff. Sitting around, that just doesn't inspire me. And I can't inspire you to be who you want to be, especially if you're seeking power from this podcast, from this television episode that we have here at our academy, at our headquarters, here at the Warhorse headquarters. Now, that said, all of that stuff, I want to welcome you to this thing, to the Champion on a Mission podcast, as well as Champion TV, where we help male entrepreneurs, married male businessmen, win it all in their marriage, their business, their body, and their life, the champion's way, right? That's what we do here. Train men to win it all the champion's way. This is our way. So, that said, there's a couple of different things I want to discuss today as today's episode. First, what does it mean to win it all to a champion man like you? First, let's answer the second part of that question. What is a champion man like you? A champion man. And I put some thought into that. I did a video the other day in a video training, so I wanted to describe it on today's podcast as what a champion is to me. A modern champion man is probably someone that has been told their whole life that they can't do something, and they fight against that shit to the core of who they are. Like they've been told to sit down, shut up, don't be loud, don't run. You don't always have to beat everybody else. And for us, that just drives us crazy, because we are people who believe that we are more. We believe that we're called to be more, that we're supposed to have more, and every time somebody tells us we can't do something, we fight against that. We have been called to fight against the status quo, right? I know if you're a man that you've felt that in your lifetime. As a matter of fact, it almost made you feel crazy, because everyone else is telling you that something's wrong with you, yet you have this drive, this fire, this urge in you to go forward, to have more, to be more, because you believe in your heart of hearts that you were called to be great, and that greatness inspires you to create change. Change in the way that you see stuff, change in the way that things seem to be, change in the way that everybody else does stuff, that they seem to be just fucking happy settling for less. And for us, we're like, why? Why do I have to do that? Which in those moments, it drove us to go into sports. It drove us to whether we went into football, whether we went to the fighting, whether we went to the military. And then outside of those things, even after we did all of that stuff, maybe somebody told you weren't smart like I was. Like I wasn't super academic in school, so there was no college for me. Even outside of that, you'd say, fine, I'm going to go into this. And you probably went into either college or the workforce. You did whatever you did, and then you found your way into business. Because being an entrepreneur, God forbid, being an entrepreneur, God forbid, for everyone else was scary as hell for you to be responsible for your own place. But you went out there, you fought that, you dug deep, you did this shit, and you won. And then on that road, maybe you got married, maybe you have a wife, maybe you have kids now. Maybe you've grown to the perspective that you thought that you were. You saw yourself, but then you get to that place and you find that you are still not happy. Making more money, making millions, whether you made millions, 7 figures, 6 figures, 5 figures, whatever it is that you did, you got those things because it was a goal of yours, and you got them, and you look back at your life, you have your wife, you have your kid, and you thought that the way that you saw the world, or at least what everybody told you when you did try, was not that way for you. You still weren't happy. So maybe you have the money, and now you have a wife and a kid, and you aren't happy, right? Or maybe you built this big ass business over here, you hustled, you drove, you did all this other stuff, and you look back at your family and like, damn, like this isn't what I wanted for my family. I wanted to be more than that. I wanted to be more than the man that I've watched all the other men be. I want to be this man. I want to win it all. So that perspective, if you take a look at that, what is a champion man? Like I said, as it related to that question, what is a champion? You are someone who's driven to fight against the status quo. You want more. You feel called to have more. You feel a fire and a burning desire in you to be more, because that's who you believe you are. That's a champion to us. And like I said, man, so there's some men out there who are not like that. Maybe you used to be like that. Maybe you're now have fought those battles. You've won it all in your life, and you look at your life and you go, shit, man, I'm not happy. I'm not where I wanted to be. And then you look at maybe home, or you're this hardcore guy out there in the marketplace, in the business, and driving and doing all this other stuff as it relates to driving up the ladder of this next level of everything you do, but then you're a total pussycat at home. You go home, maybe your wife has taken your balls, maybe you are a neutered, fallen champion, where you go home and you're totally fucking weak and you wonder why shit doesn't work because you haven't taken charge. When I say take charge, I don't mean take charge as gung-ho, be a total dickhead at home to everybody, but I'm talking about pussycat at home not taking responsibility. And now your wife has to because there's no man at home because you aren't being one. Now, if you're a neutered man where you've taken your balls and given them to somebody else and you're hardcore out here, but at home you're kind of weak and you're passive and you wonder why shit's not working, I get it. I've been there too. I had a nice, powerful wife and I wanted to be the best man that I could because I've had a failed marriage prior. I'm divorced. And then now that I have my wife, when we first got together, I was like, man, I don't want to be that guy because I was a dickhead, and I want to be this guy because I believe that works. Because, you know, I went to all the marriage counseling and classes, and I got into my marriage, and I was like, dude, I want to make my life with my wife work. She's a powerful, strong woman. She doesn't need a man be like belittling her or being a dickhead or anything like that. So I don't have to be that guy. I'm going to be soft at home. I'm going to be soft. I want her to hold hands with me, all that shit. Let me tell you, that shit did not work. My wife didn't marry me because I was weak. She married me because she was powerful and she saw the power in me, and then I showed up less than powerful and was like, damn, what do I do now? So all I did was chase. And here's the other side to being a champion man. We fought that battle. We are aggressive and we wanted those things because we didn't feel good enough sometimes. Maybe in your life you don't feel good enough in an area. Maybe your whole life has been about making you feel good enough, even though you're good. No matter what somebody tells you, all the wins that you've had as an athlete, all the wins that you've had in sports, all the wins you've had as an entrepreneur, all the business success that you've had, you still don't feel good enough and you're still chasing this trophy that truly doesn't fucking exist. A lot of men lose and seek power outside of themselves when really the only power that we're really going to have as men is really inside of us, right? So, being on this mission for myself as this champion man set out years ago because I wanted to help other men that were going through what I went through, because I went through all the personal development shit out there, and I went to church and I went to classes and I went to retreats and seminars and webinars and online stuff, and I read all the books and all this stuff on personal development trying to find who I was as a man, because when my business tanked, the money that propped me up to make me feel good enough about myself was now gone. The marriage was now exposed as a failure, so I was now looking at myself as a failure as a man, as a husband, right? And then I had my children, who I believed that I wanted to be a better dad, a better husband and father too, that now my children and I weren't going to be able to be around each other. So it made me question all of the things that I believed to be true. Not only what I had been taught, but also what I believed about myself. And for the first time in my life, I really had to agree to me in my darkest fucking moments that I didn't know what I was going to do. And out of all the lessons that I had, and all the classes and all the seminars and all the trainings, I had to compile a lot of that information and scrape away all the soft, fancy shit that really didn't matter to me and put together something that resonated with the type of person and type of man that I was, which led me on my own personal mission to now what it's called is naturally the champion's way, which is the concept that I created for me to be a better man so I can put my life, my marriage, me as a father, and my business back on track. So the mission that I've set upon is to be able to help men like you find your power as you seek power, to rebuild your marriage, to rebuild your business if your business is crumbling. Because let's face it, if you have a business and there's the pressures of juggling a successful business, everybody knows that. If you have a real fucking business, not a pansy-ass multi-level marketing business where you're trying to peddle some bullshit that you really don't give a fuck about. We've all done that, right? We're talking about the man that's built a business driven by his purpose, driven by who he is as a man, something that means something to him. And if you're not doing that, I want to welcome you to that opportunity to do that. You don't need permission to build a business driven by who you are. And we'll go into that in another episode, right? So the pressures of building a purposeful business on this side, and then the tension of juggling emotions of your wife and your own personal emotions and trying to keep up with being a good dad and try to keep up with showing up for your kids and being a better man. When all of those pressure from business and tension from home come to a head, there's left one thing in the middle, and that's a man standing confused about who he is and his beliefs about what he believes to be true about himself now. Because the thought process behind that is that he is the failure, not these outer things, right? Because when we seek power in what? Outer things. Our family, our business, our money. When those things crumble, they make us question ourselves, right? So this mission, this champion, myself, other men that's come to champion in the past, looking to free themselves from that bondage. In turn, when they free themselves, they free their families to live. They free their businesses to grow. But it starts with us, seeking power in us, right? That power in us comes from the certainty in who we are as men. And a lot of times that begins to wane, that begins to fade, that begins to become questioned when our lives become shaken, right? So the mission here is a simple one. Lead men to power. Lead men back to their power. Lead men to own who they are as men again. And like I said in the beginning, if you are a specific type of man, because my message doesn't resonate with every man. If you're a man who wants to hold hands and sing kumbaya, drink fucking coffee, and eat stale pizza in the back of some room with a bunch of other men who want to lie about where they are, tell themselves that shit's okay, numb the pain of the truth of their lives, it's not my type of guy. I want a guy that wants to physically express who he is as a man and be aggressive and work out and train and run and do other shit with men that they see as brothers. Personal development seminars and shit like that's not built on that. There's a lot of men out there that are asleep in those chairs, that are dying in those chairs because they can't just be themselves, because that part of them, like I said, even when you were a child, has been suppressed. And if you numb that part of you for a long time, man, it doesn't come back, or it doesn't come back easy. It takes a huge awakening, be it like mine's bankruptcy or facing divorce again, or a guy like me popping up in your space saying, dude, fucking do something. You're going to lose your family. Fight back. You are the one holding your family hostage when you don't. And that takes a hard look at yourself. That takes you seeking power in yourself. That takes you getting in tune with who you are again as a man and the power that we have inside of us as champions. Now, if that resonates with you, it's important to hear these things, because while it's become cliche that a lot of people are like, yeah, be a man, blah, blah, blah. Like, what does that even fucking mean? Most of the guys that are yelling, be a man, or tell them to do this, or you hear this inside of you and stuff, like, they can't help you. It's fancy to talk about right now. Because the reality of it is there's the pussification of man going down around us, where men like us, men who are powerful, who have power inside of us, or that are seeking power, if we say the shit we want to say, the shit that we're really going through, man, people look down on us. They're like, dude, you can't say that. That's not PC. Fuck PC. Fuck being politically correct to try not to offend anybody, to just sacrifice who we are. Champion is built for men like us. Now, we don't have to go out and crush other people along the spine to be who we are, but we can't be who we are without hiding who we are as men anymore. Your family will die without you if you don't do that. Your family cannot survive any longer without you being who you have to be by hiding that part of you, because guaranteed, if you are where you are, you have any level of success in your business, as an entrepreneur, as a man, in your life. If your family has any level of growth, that growth truly has come from your ability to dig deep inside of yourself in some of the darkest moments of who you are, the darkest parts of where you are, and drive forward, because that's who you are, as that, like I said in the beginning, the original person, your true self, the one of you that, the part of you that fights, the part of you that's aggressive, the part of you that says, fuck that, I don't care what anybody says, I want that thing. And sometimes that thing that we used to fight for, that aggressive side of us, wasn't even the right thing. Probably worked against us, but we did it anyways because we wanted it, right? So the mission of Champion, this Champion on a Mission podcast, Champion TV, is truly for men like us that are seeking power to be ourselves. Within that power is everything that we've ever dreamed of. I don't know who you were as a young man, or who you were as a middle-aged man, or who you are as the man you are today, but all of the things that you've always wanted in your life they're not gone. You may doubt you can have them. You may have gone through the fucking ringer in your life, whether it's in your relationship, whether it's in your marriage, maybe you're facing losing your family, maybe your business is on the rocks, and that losing of your business now puts your family in jeopardy, whatever that is. If you're seeking power outside of yourself, you won't find it. You have to seek power within yourself, and that's what Champion was designed to do, help you find the power that you need. So like when guys fly in here for the 3-day live training that we have a training camp, it's called Champion Selection, it's 3 days. That thing has one purpose, one mission. It's a living, breathing thing, and it's designed to do one thing, is show you how you show up as a mirror effect in how you play the game and help you own your power again. Not the bullshit, beat on my chest, I'm gonna fucking go do it, feel good power, but I'm talking about the dark, deep, rooted power of who you really are as a man. Because if that guy doesn't show up and fight for your family, you will lose them. That is the guy that is fucking relentless. And he will stop at nothing to make sure that his family is protected, his family is provided for, and that he continues to build and climb into the empire and the legacy that he wants to build. And he will let nothing get in his fucking way. That's what being a part of Champion is about. Helping you own that power again. 3 days straight of owning that. We don't do it for you. We set it up and hold the fucking line for the man that's come here to fight for those things. So inside of this podcast, I can promise you, I will go fucking way high and I will come way fucking low. It all depends on what I'm gonna do. Because my goal here is to shake some shit up so I can help you be aware of what maybe doing nothing in your life right now is costing you. Or maybe doing what you're doing right now that you may believe is a lot, but it's coming from a place of you now being comfortable. Maybe you've made millions of dollars and you're comfortable and you don't want to lose that, so you won't press past what it takes to get to the next phase. Or maybe you've made it and you've lost it and you are in fear of taking a step forward because you don't want to jeopardize your family. Maybe they've been through the fucking ringer. Or maybe in your relationship, you and your wife aren't connected anymore. You guys aren't having sex. I mean, let's be real. As men, this is a man show. And even ladies, sometimes you're going to listen to this show, but I'm just going to be real. Men, we want to have sex, period. Said other way for a woman, intimacy, hold hands. They want all that other shit. Men, we want money and sex. For women, what is it? Intimacy and security. That's what they want. And that's okay. Men like us have that. So if we aren't having sex in our marriage, we aren't having connection in our relationship with another adult in our household, we don't feel powerful. We seek that. So we may have a great relationship, no sex. Then we feel like shit as men, right? We question ourselves. Or maybe you're not connecting with your kids. Whatever that is, that power that you need to overcome those things is in you. And the only way that your family, your wife and you will connect, you and your kids will connect, if the man himself frees himself from the bondage that he's experiencing inside. I want to help you get back in touch with the primal power that is truly who you are as a man. That's a conqueror. That's a warrior. That's a creator. All of those things combined make you who you are. You're unique in that shit. I can promise you, bro. Everything that you are seeking is something that you've always felt inside of you. That's that calling inside of you telling you that you are driven and created to have more. And if you let your fire die inside of you, then everybody that you are responsible for, in charge of, will fucking lose because you won't be who you are. And that's a fucking champion. So the mission of this thing is to help you own your power. The Champion TV episodes, anything that I ever fucking do will always be about men owning their power so they can fucking win it all in their lives. Your family deserves for you not to hold them hostage because of who you are not being. Your business and all the people that you support, it is your responsibility to not hold them hostage and be who you have to be, right? That starts off with you looking at yourself and owning all the shit that you hide, that you suppress, that you numb, and become that man so you can finally fucking have what you want. And that's all of it. Because that's what I wanted, which is become my own personal fucking purpose to help men free themselves from that bondage. I know what it feels like. Right. So, hopefully today's episode has been somewhat awakening for you to take a look at your life. And I want to challenge you to do that. Take a look at your marriage, bro. Take a look at you and your wife and the relationship that you guys have. Are you fucking where you want to be? Do you connect the way you want to? Are you lying and hiding from her the things that you really desire and want as a man to make you feel like a fucking man in your house? To make you feel wanted and appreciated and loved? Is that happening? Because if it's not, man, I can tell you, man, a little bit of your soul dies every fucking day. The more flowers you buy, the more dinner dates that you go on, the more time that you look across the table at her, and you lose that connection every day, and you do fucking nothing about it but lie and suppress it, thinking that it's going to fix itself. It fucking won't. Every time you get in the car with your kids and they're doing something else and you're not talking to them, or they're talking to you and you can tell that you're not really connected, a little bit of your soul dies every day. Every time you go into your business and you fight and you wage war in the marketplace because you try to grow money, you try to do all this shit so you can take that money home and do shit at your house, Really just buying your family, trying to make yourself feel good because you feel like that's what you're supposed to do because you're taught as a man, we are providers, but then there's no connection. That's not the champion's fucking way. We want to win it all. That starts with us seeking power in ourselves so we can take a look at our whole life and fucking dominate. That's what it's about. Are there men out there willing to settle and be a man that wins in business and loses his family when he crosses the fucking finish line, look around and there's nobody there? Do you want that? I didn't. Take a look at everything you have and recognize that whatever it is that you have, whatever you like and whatever you don't like, you fought to fucking have it. And if you have something that you don't like, you can fucking change it. The moment you decide to be who you have to be and stop holding everybody in your circle hostage. Champion on a Mission is designed to help you find the power that you are seeking everywhere else inside of yourself. Champion in our 3-day live training camp, and I want to invite you guys, if this thing resonates with you, you want to be a part of this brotherhood that we have, of men all ruthlessly committed to everything. Like there's a difference between somebody who says, yeah, I'm committed, to somebody who's going to be fucking ruthless. I will cut your goddamn throat to get what I want. Those are two different levels of commitments. I know a lot of people are committed, but they're committed to fucking half-ass, and they're committed to their excuses. They're committed to their lies. They're committed to all the shit they don't want, and they come up with 10,000 fucking excuses. Those are the real commitments. And then there's a guy like us in Champion that are going to be fucking really like cutthroat about all the shit that we do. We're going to be fucking relentless. We're going to be ruthless. We're going to go after everything we want with one purpose, getting fucking results. We won't stop. We won't tire. We won't bend because that matters to us. Because we let go of all the other shit. We let go of all the conditioning. We let go of all the other fucking stories and excuses. And we're just focused on this one thing. Where is that for you? Go to championarmy.com and watch the video that's there. I kind of go over a little bit about my story, why we're doing what we're doing, and find out if that story resonates with you. Because here's the deal. There I want to invite you to fill out the application to just have an interview. You just talk to one of the people on my team or me. Doesn't matter who. And I want to invite you to have that conversation as an interview alone because maybe we can shed some light on some shit. It helps to talk to another brother who understands. Another guy who's actually in the battle. I'm building my business. I'm building my family. We're going to the next phase of life. It helps to have people who understand you. Because if you continue to fight this fight, seeking power inside of yourself alone, you will feel alone. Right? Who you surround yourself every day with out there in the world. You got your friends, you got all your other people, maybe you got some business associates, but maybe they don't want what you want. And if you lean on them to empower you to go after the shit that you want, especially if it's outside of their scope too, they aren't going to fucking help you. Crabs in a fucking barrel, bro. The 5 people you associate with the most on the average is where you're going to be stuck. You get it? You are the sum total of the 5 people you surround yourself with, less the actions you take. So even if you are around 5 people who are doing okay and you're doing okay, if you stop taking action, then your shit kind of goes down a little bit. Who are you around? Having that interview with somebody who is driving forward, who is seeking power, who is helping empower other people, the brothers that are going to be coming here that you can rub shoulder to shoulder next to, you know what I'm saying, will also push you to go to the shit that may get hard because they want to see you win, because they want to win. And when we all win, we all fucking get there as champions. You see, but when we all lose, then everybody gets what they want. The other people out there that are not like us, the fucking armchair cowards, the fucking spectators who will tell us that we can't do what we want to do, the people that we've been fighting against our whole fucking life, they win. And when they win, our kids lose, your kids lose, my kids fucking lose, all the people that I'm going to serve out there in my business in the future, their families, their kids lose, their employees lose. Everybody fucking loses when champions lose, because we're fighting for something bigger. We're called to change. Are you? championarmy.com, go there, fill out that application, or you can go to applyforchampion.com and look, have that interview process with us. If you want to become a part of this brotherhood, come to our 3-day live training camp and have that total fucking experience with you. That experience is designed for one fucking thing, help you own your power so you go out there and fight for your family, fight for your business as a man, as a champion, and empower you to be that. Go to that thing. I want to have you there. If this episode, whether it's from the version that you've listened to on the podcast or it's the episode that you've watched here on our Champion TV, right? Share this with another man who needs this. Here's the deal. If you watched another man sit in his own fucking pit of hell and crumble and die there, you watch this man, know that he has problems in his family, know that he has problems in his business. If you've watched him and you've fucking done nothing, you fucked him. No more of that. There's enough people screwing over people out there in the world. We don't need to be one of them. If we believe we're called to be more, and there's other men out there that we know when we see them, they are more than they're being, it becomes our responsibility. It is our duty to fucking help that guy. And if you can't help him with the thing that you're doing because it's not your calling, and I'm telling you this is our purpose, then it becomes your responsibility to share this message with him. Like I said, we have to have each other's backs because nobody's going to have our fucking back out there. Right? We're entrepreneurs. We're businessmen. We're husbands. We're fathers. We're fucking leaders. We are everything the world is looking for, and it's in us. And it is our responsibility to keep that shit going. All right? So, thank you for tuning in to today's Champion on a Mission podcast as well as Champion TV. And I want to welcome you to this journey, to this mission that we're on to help more men fucking live the standard. The champion standard.